Hey everybody, welcome back to Star and Flurry. I'm not here with a daily reading. We're done with that. Um, I'm here to talk about some of our reflections and then also moving forward. It is Sunday, April, what is it, 6th, and I thought I would drop down from a daily reading to a weekly reading. I think it's really hard for a daily reading because if people miss it, they just miss it, and you can't go back. So I thought, so for me, again, it was more of a challenge than trying to be helpful to anybody. But I miss it. I really miss it, and I think because there is there is good there's good in practice, and so and pardon me if I'm sniffing. My gosh, my allergies are just. Apparently, I'm allergic to birch. I had the most horrendous moments about, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks ago, where I could not stop sneezing. I could not stop anything. Nothing, Benadryl, nothing helped. And I was just dying. And I remember saying to myself, I'm gonna start getting vertigo in a couple of weeks, because that's usually what happens. I'll get super like that, and then I spent like a week with my ear, whatever. It felt like I'd gotten water in my ear, but I knew that's not what it was, and eventually it cleared, and I knew that it would. And then usually 2 to 3 weeks after that, I start kind of when I wake up in the morning. If I get when I get up, I'm like, oh, or even if I just open my eyes, it's like spins. Um, and I remember saying to myself a couple of weeks ago, oh, I'm going to get this 3 weeks from now. And sure enough, this morning, I woke up and it felt so good. It was such a great morning. Unfortunately, it wasn't sunny, but that's okay. It was just a good morning. I got lots of sleep and looking forward to today. And I was like, I opened my eyes and I was like, whoa. And it was just like this, everything was going counterclockwise, clockwise. It was terrible. And it cleared pretty quick. It usually doesn't last. I mean, those moments will last for weeks, but the moments themselves don't last very long. But I know it's because of an inner ear. I either had some kind of infection going on or something like that. Not an infection, just a. It was. What am I trying to say? It was plugged up, and it's resetting itself. I've been through this a million times, so um, I pretty much know the routine. I felt bad for my dad because he used to get really bad vertigo, and because of blockages in his ear canals or whatever, he had to go in and get them flushed out. That is not my issue, thankfully, but still, nonetheless. Anyways, that was a sidetrack. So I'm here to talk about. So yeah, a daily read just doesn't function well, I think, for most people, because if you forget it, then you're a day late, and it doesn't matter, or you think it doesn't. I know that there's a lot of people on. Pardon me, I'm still stifling. Um, on the internet who say, if you found this reading today, it was meant for you, and I don't buy into that stuff. That's just me. Maybe I will someday, but I don't today. Um, so I want to thank everybody who did hang on with me. There were a couple of commenters that came back, not every day, but every other day or so, just to say nice reading, accurate, great deck, or whatever. And I really appreciate that from you guys. You kept me going. Thank you. Um, I certainly felt more comfortable reading after a month of reading every day. I took a class by Anatorian this last week and this week. I think it was 2 Saturday mornings in a row, for really inexpensive. And it was like 3 hours each shot. And it was so amazing. It's so helpful. And she is such a great feeler of what she in her descriptions of the cards, she used her deck, the Terror of the Abyss, but she also brought in the Rider Waite, so you could see what she was pulling from and how she made her drawings and all that, and that was really cool. And it was so interesting to hear her speak about how she pulled them together, put them together, blah 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 blah. So highly recommend if she ever offers it again. I had to bow out. I was really sad. I had to bow out early yesterday because of a situation And I didn't even get to it happened so fast I didn't even get a chance to say goodbye. So I know Anna's not watching, but just thank you for a great class. It was really fun, and I hope I get the chance to do another one with you. So that was really fun. And what was really cool is at the end of the first class, we did breakout rooms and we did readings for each other. Oh, and I was like, oh, I don't want to do that. And then I was like, what, Nancy, you've been reading for 30 freaking days straight. I think you can handle it. And so I may have talked about this earlier, but I'm going to talk about it again. So I read for a woman named Donna in New Jersey, and it was it was so funny because I shuffle the cards, lay them down, and I'm just like praying that there's no, please don't give me a 10 of swords, please don't give me cheers a 10 of whatever, 9 of swords, no towers, and I didn't get any of that. I got the best reading ever. It was really cool, and it was really fun. And she did the same for me, and say I imagine she went through a similar moment with like, please don't give me something horrible, and both readings were really positive. So it was like the universe was saying, it's okay, we'll take it easy on you guys. So that was really fun. I do believe in magic a little more than I did. As you all know, I'm one of the more, what's the word I'm looking for? Pragmatic tarot readers, more on the, I'm more on the Petici side of how this works. That it's I hope I'm figuring, or what am I trying to say? I hope that I'm not pulling him too out of context, but he was always very practical about the way he read, and always felt that it was that tarot was not as magical as we all would like to think, but more practical. That it really gave you options. That's what it was all about. Options that you hadn't thought about. I call it the front porch on the neighbor. The neighbor on the front porch. Where's my head? Who tosses you a question out of left field, and you're like, oh, and it changes everything. And I think that's what tarot is most emphatically to me. But there was a bit of magic going on, especially in Donna and mine's readings, I thought. And it's certainly in the readings that I was doing on a daily basis. I was completely shocked that probably, and I don't think I'm mislabeling this, 90% of the time, the oracle cards that I was pulling, I might as well have pulled them and matched the reading to it. But I wasn't doing that. I was pulling the cards, doing the reading, and then pulling an oracle just to kind of slap a finish on it. And it was amazing how perfect it was. And the other thing that was interesting is when I started to run out of oracle cards from the oracle I was using, and I started to switch over to another one. Sorry, my allergies are chiming in here, so I won't be talking for much longer. But none of the other oracles did that. They weren't as in tune. So I don't know how to explain that except for a little bit of magic. So for those who doubt me, I'm coming around. So anyways, those are really my reflections on my 31-day reading crusade. And it was really fun, and I'm really glad I did it. And I'm proud of myself that I finished it. There were several times there in the middle where I was like, just no one cares. Just be done. But I had to recall that the reason I was doing it was really for my practice. So there's that. Okay, so going forward, I decided I might do a reading every Sunday for the week, just kind of to stay brushed up for me, and maybe I'll get better at this, and maybe it'll be a valuable tool to people in their week, and it's something that you could certainly visit sometime during the week to see if it made any sense or if it's going to make any sense. So I thought that would be fun. So I will chime off of here, and I'll be right back to do that. Okay, we're going to start with the Ancient Aurum Tarot. I will leave a link down below. It's become one of my favorite decks. It's just an RWS, but it has gold flecking on it. It's really cool. It has what they call a beige spray. They don't call it a gilt of any kind. And they call it a 350 GSM art stock, but it's really easy to shuffle. So I don't know how long it'll last, but right now I'm really enjoying it. So that's that. And then the Oracle, I'm going to do the spreads just like I did for the month of March. Just 3 cards and an Oracle to put the icing on the cake. And this particular Oracle is just got it from Kickstarter. It's called the the Quiet Rebel Oracle by Lynn Thurman. Did I get that name right? Yes. Boy, Lynn Thurman comes in a very nice box and a nice little guidebook. And I'll put a link down below for the Ancient Arum. Pardon me, I just had a huge coughing fit, so I'm hoping to get through this without too much trouble. Okay, so for fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, for the week of April 7th. What do you have to look forward to? And these are completely general readings, so take them as lightly as you can. Magician, Page of Wands, and the Nine of Cups. Life looks good, my dear. You might be getting some news somewhere along the way. Always be wary of the Magician. I always say he is the magic man, but he's also the charmer. He can manifest the world, which makes him incredibly valuable to you, but also someone you should be mindful of, be aware of, be smart about. Pages usually bring in interesting news, so that may be what you're expecting, or that may be something to expect, and it's going to be good news. I think all around this is a great little reading. I think you're going to have a nice week. Not too much going on. And what does the Quiet Rebel have to say to you? Actually, I normally cut the tarot and not the Oracle, but Oracle says, escape hatch, freedom. What does that mean? Freedom. When all seems confined, a hidden escape route exists, waiting to be found. This card reassures you that freedom is closer than you think, even if it feels elusive right now. Sometimes liberation requires creative thinking and courage to step away from familiar confines. The escape hatch represents the opportunity to break free from the limiting situations, opening up possibilities for personal sovereignty. Look beyond the obvious and trust that your path to freedom is within reach. This newfound freedom may not be the expected route, but it's there, ready when you are. Declaration of defiance, freedom is always within my reach. So that may be exactly what this is kind of saying, you know? You are, maybe you are the magician. You are the one manifesting these early, incredible, passionate energy, young as it may be. But it is giving you a path and a portal to something better. So go for it. So that's fun. So next we have the water signs. What are the water signs? Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Is that right? Yeah, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Such a soft little shuffle. Operator error. Okay, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. What's up for you the week of April 7th? Well, hello. Good week for you, you too. I mean, yeah. I always look at the Empress as, be kind to your underlings if you have underlings. Maybe your children, maybe the people, coworkers you work with who aren't directly related to you in terms of hierarchy, but whom you have great influence over. Be wise to keeping balance within any situation. Watch for your words to not get too cross. This doesn't mean they're going to be that way, but just be mindful. Whenever I see a sword, I think mind your words, and especially where the justice is concerned, because it can always go. This is words in balance are the best given. When they are out of balance, they are not the best given. But I would say that you are quite good at that. You are quite good at the nurturing. You're very good at putting words together that mean something to people that they care about, and you get nothing but great back. So, yeah, nice. Good job. I think you're going to have also a wonderful week. And Oracle, what say you? Masks off. Authenticity. Exactly. Let me get a closer look at this card. I love this deck. Oh, my God. So it says masks off. Authenticity. What a great card. Okay, let's read. Let's read what the book says about that. Masks off. Authenticity is calling, urging you to shed the roles and personas you've worn to fit in. This card invites you to be completely unapologetically yourself, free from expectations. Only by being genuine can you connect with your true self and align with those who appreciate you as you are. Yes, Empress. I shouldn't have. I'm sorry, I took the cards away. But the process of removing these masks may feel vulnerable, but it's a journey towards liberation. Embrace this moment of honesty, knowing that it will lead to a deeper, more fulfilling connection with you, yourself, and the world around you. Declaration of Defiance. I release all masks I've worn to fit in, and now I let my true self shine. All right. And I would guess, given the reading that we just saw, that that is your modus operandi in most cases, and it serves you well. So keep it up. Well done. It's hard to do in a business environment, for sure, or any environment. I mean, some of the hottest situations happen in my business, which is hospitality. I mean, because everything has to be perfect. It has to be fast. It's so subjective. One of the most subjective in the business. It's not like people come in and try on their coco vin to see if it works. They order it, and that's their order. It's not like a sweater that you can try on or a blouse. It's really, can you imagine walking into Nordstrom saying, "I'd like a blouse, please," and then they hand you one, and you're like, "Oh, this isn't quite what I had in mind." or let me rephrase that. You go into Nordstrom, you ask for a blouse, and they say, "What kind of blouse would you like?" You say, "I would like a white blouse, cotton, semi-cropped with 3/4 sleeves." And they're like, "Okay." And so then they come back with exactly what you asked for, technically. And you're like, "Ooh, that's not quite what I had in mind." Well, the joy at Nordstrom is they can take it back, or they can show you the rack they pulled it from to see if they can find you one that you liked. But in the restaurant business, it's like, no, here it is. This is what you ordered. Sorry, you don't like the way we prepare it. I mean, there are moments when it's, granted, I've been through all those situations, but that's what I mean. It's so subjective. And there's no, the go back, the fix is either order something completely different, wait another 15 minutes for it to arrive, or the restaurant eats it, buys it and eats it. Sorry. That's why restaurants just fail all the time, because oh my God, you are literally serving the most subjective thing anybody could ever order from anybody. Anyways, okay. So did we do water signs already? I can't even remember. I think we did. Okay, air signs. What's up, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius? What's up for your week of April 7th? King of Swords. Hierophant. The Star. Something says to me you're going to have a major meeting this week, and you're going to learn a lot. If you're a government employee, this may or may not be good, but with the Star here, it might be okay. But I would guess that somebody with an incredible way of speaking and a lot of power within your organization or within your world, who has great knowledge, might be a little over the top in terms of control, but aren't they all? And yet they're bringing, I think they're bringing words of wisdom and words of good hope for you and for your team. So I would say this is a good thing. You're in good shape. Oracle, what say you? What say you for the air signs? Uh-oh, the underdog, the underestimation. Well, this winner, chicken dinner. So what does that mean? Does that mean, oh my God, what does that mean compared to the reading? Oh, I pulled the cards again, sorry. I mean, maybe, who knows? Maybe it's that you've been underestimated. Your team has been underestimated, or your department or whatever. And it turns out that you guys are doing really good. Or that you all have been underestimating yourselves. Let's see what's going on here. Perspective shift. Sometimes the most profound insights come from seeing things in an entirely new way. This card, do I have the right? I do not. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. There we go. I had the wrong page there. The underdog, underestimation. Being underestimated can be a hidden advantage, providing you with the space to grow without undue pressure. This card reminds you that when others overlook your potential, you are free to rise at your own pace, surprising those who doubted you. Embrace this role as the underdog, for it carries resilience, quiet strength, and the power to overcome obstacles. Success will come not through loud declarations, but through your persistence and dedication. Trust that your journey, though perhaps underestimated by others, will bring victory in its own time. Let the underestimation fuel your drive and determination. Oh, that's kind of cool. So maybe that's what's been going on in your deal, that the someone's going to come and say, they thought we couldn't do it, and look at us now. The declaration of defiance is, underestimation is my fuel to rise above challenges. Okay, and last but not least, we have our earth signs: Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Hope this hasn't gone too long for y'all. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I think you're the first ones I've cut today. I'm off my game. I'm out of practice. Wheel of Fortune. 10 of Cups. The World. Well, I think this is 4 signs of goodness. 4 elements of goodness. This has been great readings for everybody. The Wheel of Fortune turns up and down. The what goes? What's that song from? Must come down, spinning wheel. Yeah. So with the 10 of Cups right next to it in the World here, it's just, I think it's gonna come back around. If it's been down, which it, in the World has been a busy place full of a lot of strife and frustration, and hopefully this is a signal that that's about to turn around. The Ten of Cups is that just that yes, things are working better, and it's including the world. So God, I hope so. That would be very nice. That would be a very nice change of pace, don't you think? And your oracle card is the Great Unplug. Detachment. Maybe that's what we all need. Just a little bit of. Sorry, does that look like a Sharpie to you? It's just a really big plug. The Great Unplug. Detachment. Is that what we need to do? Just detach and let life do what it's going to do. The Wheel of Fortune goes to work. Probably. EF. No, it was. When they do a card, the Great Unplug, it's the first word is the. So you need to look under the. There it is. The Great Unplug, detachment. In a world filled with distractions, stepping back is sometimes the only way forward. This card calls for detachment, not just from technology, but from emotional entanglements and mental clutter. By unplugging, you create a sacred space for clarity and renewal. Detachment offers a fresh perspective, helping you see what truly matters and refocus on what's meaningful. Embrace the stillness and let go of anything that weighs you down, as hard as that can be right now. This period of detachment can be a gateway to deeper understanding, allowing you to return to a life with renewed energy. Declaration of Defiance: I detach and let go of distractions, returning to what truly matters. So there you go. So I think this was that's so interesting. In other words, maybe it's time to let go. Let your world expand wider than this kind of narrow focus we all have right now. It's just, unplug, detach, stay within the world that you are comfortable in, and recognize that will always be your support group, will always be your the fire to help you move forward, and that sometimes the world's just going to let you down, and that's okay, because what goes around comes around. That will change. All right, everybody, thanks for stopping in. We'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.